Winter is a bleak season. The few signs of life appear to be clinging and barely coping. But the more observant see a vibrant world under the ripples. Life here defies the harshness of winter. And for Lee, there's no better time to be fishing on the river. The Dorset Stour, one of England's most prolific rivers. And it's the Stour's famous big chub that Lee has made a 2-hour journey for. And he couldn't have picked a better time, for after being in flood for several weeks, the river is now thinning back down. The perfect time to trot for hungry chub. But watercraft is still essential in finding them. A swim with a midstream crease and far bank snag screams big chub. These fish can be spooky even in the best of conditions, so there's only one bait that almost guarantees a feeding frenzy.
Right, first things first, let's get some bait in the swim. Got some red and white maggots. Going to put them, catapult them about 2/3 across. Then hopefully when we cast in, the fish will already be there feeding.
And while the maggots hopefully whet the appetites of the snag-loving chub, a 13-foot float rod is assembled. And the next most important thing when trotting is choosing the right tackle that will keep the bait on the right path.
I think I'm going to go with one of these barbel trotters. Go with a 9 or 11 BB. I think I'll start heavy. I can always whittle it down as the day goes on if we're struggling for a bite.
A heavy float needs a lot of weight.
I'm going to put all the shots together. Just bulk them up. Make it easier to cast the distance I need and hopefully have a bit more control over the float. Should be enough. Just going to have a quick run through.
After a quick test run through the swim, everything must be placed within reaching distance to make things nice and effortless. A quick top up of maggots. And now, the dance can begin. And that's what trotting is. A dance between angler and river. And she is a demanding dance partner. You must feel her pace. Know when to hold back, to slow down, or to give more. And then, once you match her rhythm, the waltz becomes effortless. And it looks like the conditions are in sync today as well. The sky is a blanket of grey. The temperature is mild for January. The river has a tinge of colour and a steady pace. And when all the elements and your approach are just right, effort is rewarded.
Yeah, there we go, we're in. Yeah, fish on. Oh, he's going. Don't want to bully him too hard because he feels a nice fish. And that's come within about half an hour, just keeping them maggots going in. I first hit him, I thought, oh no, I've snagged on the weed. Literally didn't feel any pulling. He's trying to come in on my own bank there. Let's keep the side strain on. We're on a reasonably big hook. I don't want to speak too soon, so it should hold okay. Feels like a nice fish. He's just down here. I can see the float now. Not going to bully him too hard because he wants to go a little bit now. Here he comes. Let's give him that little bit that he wants because the current's quite fierce here on that inside edge. Keep him out of there. You can see the hook. Oh. You can see the hook is just hooked in the top lip. I don't want to give him too much. Could be his final flourish. Let me get his head up, there we go. I want to make a dive from there. And there he is, he's ours. Oh, lovely. What a one to start. It's just caught slightly in the net. Oh, he was never coming off. He was lovely hooked in the top lip. There we go. Clear that. Let's have a look at him. Oh, oh. And there he is. And there's the first one of the session. Yes. It's just nice to get one this early. Beautiful. Actually in fantastic condition. I mean, I think I've caught the river absolutely perfect. It's just on the full drop, it's back to its sort of normal level and it's clear. So 25 minutes, half an hour of trotting and the first one's in the bag. Look at this massive old mouth. You wonder when you're using a big old bit of cheese paste how they get it in. No problem at all. It's just nice to get one this early and then sort of takes the pressure off of the day now. Okay, we'll put him in the keep net. Don't want him telling his friends. I'll just sink down and catch that current. First one of the day. Beautiful. I'll take that as a start all day long. As I said, I'm not one for saying I've told you so, but feed them and they will come.
Although the method did pay off, Lee's confidence may have been a little premature, for after carrying on with the casting and catapulting for another few hours, the first chub was the only one to grace the net. There's only one thing to do when things dry up.
Time for a coffee.
A warm brew always helps to clear the mind and allows for thinking and consideration. The decision? A swim change.
What I've decided, I'm going to make a move, a couple of swims down. It's a nice fish. Very lively again. Oh, and he's off. And he's gone.
Walking the banks of a river is one of the finer byproducts of fishing, and at this time of year it's a warming experience. Although winter makes everything appear barren, if you stop to look, you'll soon see life doing its best to endure the cold. And this is most apparent in the surrounding wildfowl. A family of swans living life fighting the flow. The squabbling gulls using the coastal winds to scam for food. And a breeding pair of stone chats, constantly on the lookout for the Stour's growing population of otters. A fish-killing pest to most anglers, but the bane of all low-nesting birds, as they emerge from their burrows to feed on eggs and unsuspecting chicks. But these beautiful birds are hardy. They'll adapt and survive. This new swim is much wider than the one before, so the 13-foot float rod is replaced by a 16-footer.
I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the hook straight through. I've been using a hook link all morning, but I think it's quite choppy and I don't think it's really going to make a difference if we're straight through. So I've gone with a 14 straight through, big Dave Harrell float. What I was finding is on any other sort of float, it was just tangling the line where the water's quite choppy.
New swim, different approach, but the same dance. Perhaps the damage from predators is beginning to show, for another few fishless hours pass by and the long journey home is getting closer and closer. But Lee knows that with regular feeding, accurate casting and precise line control, a bite is always on the cards. And for him, one bite can be enough.
Not a snag. Not a snag. Good fish. PB for me, £6 bang on. Let's just say the cameraman was slightly generous because it was bouncing between 6.1 and 5. 15 or whatever, so but we're going to go with 6 bang on the button. Been here solidly now for about an hour and a half, just keeping the feed going, constantly keeping the feed going. And it was right at the start of the swim where the float just dived, and I thought it was weed at first, but it wasn't. It turned out to be this beauty. I think the thing is though, a 6 pound chub is definitely too big for a keep net, so I'm going to slip this one straight back. To say I'm a happy bunny is a bit of an understatement.
The journey home doesn't seem so long after all.